Okay, my biggest concern is the paperwork that's being offered and the equipment being used to test the air.
Okay, what about it?
Now, from what I've read and contacted companies about, it doesn't pick up at a low enough level with just a handheld.
Go ahead.
And my other concern is I don't feel comfortable with the paperwork that was being presented. I mean, I'll let anyone come in, but I don't see it being necessary for me to sign off on what information.
To get into the house, the part that you're signing is just the access agreement, basically just saying that we have that you're allowing us onto the property.
Yeah, but that's indoor and out, and it doesn't have an end or beginning time, which is odd to me.
Oh, just the time of being able to be on the property?
Yeah, there's no beginning or end, and then it says partners, which I don't understand what partners would be if there's only the specified people there at that time.
Let me bring up the form real quick.
Because I know I had 2 employees of CTECH. There was a sheriff, an EPA member, and I think 2 other people, if I can recall correctly. I know it seemed like there was a good amount of people, and then I would not be allowed to go into my home while the testing was being done, which, I mean, it's kind of odd because it's my personal property and I don't feel comfortable anyone entering my home without me being present.
Right. I wonder if that was the case before. So now it's still the police officer, the EPA, and then CTECH, which would include me. You would be able to be in the house while we do it. You can follow us around and all that stuff.
Okay, now would I be allowed to see the machine, because I know how the machines work and how the readings are? And from my understanding, the handhelds do not pick up at a level that's being let off or specify enough.
So the EPA has their equipment, and then we also have our equipment with CTECH. They're going to be handhelds. Ours detects at 0.1 ppm VOC. I believe I've seen the EPA's equipment, and they might have PPV, which is an even lower detection. And we would, it would be the handhelds that we would be using.
But isn't the regulation part per billion?
As far as what we're monitoring for, we've been using the VOCs, the ppm. That is the toxicology hotline would be able to answer that more, but I do believe that the EPA does have parts per billion on their machine. Is from what I saw, one of the home assessments.
Okay. Could I know what machines they're actually using before going, just so I don't have an issue again? Because I know I had tube tests done in my home early, like a week after everything happened.
So we are using, for the handheld, so we have the multi-ray pros. We get a detection on the multi-ray, and if you want to request, even if we don't get a detection, we have CTECH, which is pulling like a tube to detect specifically for vinyl chloride.
Okay, so those are Honeywell machines then?
They are.
Okay.
and so then we can pull a next tech tube.
Could I
detect specific vinyl chloride.
Could I request a canister test be performed for a more accurate read?
So as far as the canister tests, I don't think we're doing those for home assessments. I don't think we're going to do those for home assessments. But what we have started to do is we will put a badge, a badge that we can send off to a lab. We'll put that outside the home. It'll probably be like on the closest street corner or something, somewhere that way we can get it without having to get access to your property again. And we put that as close to the home as possible. On the street corner.
Yeah.
And send that to a lab. We'll analyze that, and then the result will be due.
Yeah, because I could purchase the same machines for about $100 to $300. That's the only thing. And from my understanding, it's not as accurate. And for the chemicals that are in our homes are more of on an industrial level.
Mm-hmm. So as far as specific chemical testing, we do the vinyl chloride tubes, and I believe those. Check real quick. Those can detect. The range on those is also 0.1 ppm. That's specifically for vinyl chloride.
It only goes to 0.1.
0.1 ppm is the lowest range of that.
Because I mean, in my car, it read around the 10th at a 2.0, just in my car, vinyl chloride. So that's the only reason why I would like to have a more efficient testing.
Yeah, I understand. I think, I don't know what we personally do as far as that, because the way we're doing home assessments, the way we've been doing all of them, is with the Multi-Ray Pro with the EID, the VOC sensor, as well as the vinyl chloride tubes.
Is there any other tubes, though, that can be offered other than vinyl chloride?
I can see, I believe we may have some for some other chemicals. I can check.
Yeah, just because that's a home I'm going to have to move my family back into, and I haven't been there since February 3rd. And I know if I walk into my home and after a couple minutes my teeth hurt and other people's teeth hurt, that's not a safe way to go. So I kind of want the most efficient way to test it. And I can double check with Honeywell, but I don't think that they stand by that reading in a home for this kind of catastrophic event.
I can also ask our toxicologists as well, see if they have maybe more info on that as well.
Okay.
But as far as I know, the detection range being 0.1 ppm isn't an issue, but I can check for more detail on that and see if we have something to offer that could maybe detect lower. But as far as what we've been doing with the home assessments, we've been using the Multi-Ray Pro and the CTECH with vinyl chloride tubes. And then we'll do the badges outside as well.
Okay. So would you be able to check to see if I could request a canister test of any kind, even at my own expense, just to make sure that it's taking a broader spectrum of chemicals? Because I know that I have ethanol in my home, and for the 10-day period I wasn't there, should not have been present.
I I can check.
They also had PVC cement detected at a moderate level.
Have you spoken to? We also have a toxicology hotline.
I did not. I wasn't aware of that. I'm going by what's sent to me in the mail by pamphlets,
Yeah.
and I haven't seen that thus far unless that was given somewhere else.
Let me find the number for that. Because the toxicology hotline would probably be able to tell you a lot more as far as the chemical specific stuff, questions, and maybe even some of the equipment questions you have.
Okay.
So I can find that number for you real quick and give that to you. Let's see.
I don't want to be a pain, and I hope that's not how I'm coming off to be, but I'd rather be safe than sorry a couple years down the road, because there was another incident that was just deemed livable in 2016 from 1982, that people were still living there, and then they deemed it livable after people had been living there, kind of in our circumstances. So I don't. Yeah, and it's a fifth of what went off in our town. So I'd rather be safe than sorry, because even my 6-year-old expresses to me someday he wants to have kids. So.
Yeah.
You know, like, he would like to have a family, and I don't want to put them in harm's way.
Right.
I just know if my teeth hurt when I go in my home, and after the hotels are done being paid for, I'm probably going to have to go back home with a mortgage.
Yeah. Let's see. Is this number that you are calling me on a cell phone?
Yeah, that's my only way of contact.
Okay. I can text you a picture of this card we're giving out that has some numbers on it. One of them says even for questions about the chemicals involved. Then one for air and water testing, which is probably the hotline you called earlier.
What kind of test results?
Now, and another question was, now if we had previous testing and with the soil being disrupted, we noticed that my boyfriend's home smells more severe and has more issues since when it was previously tested, air quality wise. Are we able to do more than one air test?
Yes. If you, for like a different home or for the same home?
It's his home. He had one done early on, and now the smell is more severe.
Okay.
And
we can do reassessments. If he can call the hotline number, they can we can get him scheduled for a reassessment. Let's see. All right, I have the. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So the number. Did you get the text that I sent with the card?
I think so, but I don't want to chance it to look over because my phone's been disconnecting in here.
You have somewhere to write down a number?
Yeah.
Okay. The toxicology hotline, which would definitely be able to give you more information as far as like the chemicals and the detection ranges and stuff. The number for that is 234 542 6474.
Okay. And is there a specific person I should ask for, or is it just like a hotline?
It's a hotline. Yeah, it's a hotline that I believe goes to our toxicologists, and I don't know which one's going to answer, but they'll have a lot more info as far as the chemicals and stuff like that.
Okay.
And if you decide to request to schedule a home assessment, you can feel free to call me on this number.
I would, but maybe, I mean, if you can text me a contract, I just don't feel comfortable with contract. And I know if I pay for anything out of pocket, I don't have to sign a contract with it, which is very odd. And I have homeowners insurance, so that wouldn't come into play for needing a contract.
I can text you the property access authorization form that we're having you sign.
Okay.
Is that what you want?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can text that to you.
I know it's changed twice so far, so maybe it's changed again. Being a homeowner, I don't feel comfortable.
Right.
And my insurance will not cover me if I give access to a property that I still have a mortgage on, which could potentially harm my mortgage agreement.
Okay. Yeah, I'll send you the blank version of that form. And yeah, so I mean, I guess before they were doing it differently, but now, you'll be able to come in the home with us and all that stuff. We don't need to enter the home without you there or anything like that.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I think I got it. But that's it then. I'll try to call the toxicologist number because I would like to have at least another test done or an idea.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.